Hi, I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling-related things, all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. So this last week was Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor 2023. Let's get into it. The opening match, a lucha match between Commander and Gravity. It was good, but I'm gonna be honest, there was nothing that happened in this match that got me all that invested into it. I mean, it was entertaining, it just wasn't something that grabbed you. It was basically just a couple of luchadors doing a couple of decent luchador moves. Commander was constantly trying to find some kind of a finisher, and it kind of backfired as he got rolled up and pinned by Gravity. So it did kind of have a lackluster feel, but I will say, as an opener, it was good enough to get to that 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the Ring of Honor Television Championship, Dalton Castle versus Samoa Joe. Again, it was good, but again, nothing really grabbing me. I mean, of course, the boys were out there, so they were helping Dalton Castle. So Stokely Hathaway, who was there doing commentary, went to the officials to have them removed from ringside. Because obviously him and Samoa Joe are a team thing going on now. And while they were leaving, and the referee was distracted, Samoa Joe hit Dalton Castle with a low blow, got him in the coquina clutch, and made him tap out, retaining his Ring of Honor Television Championship. But ultimately just seems kind of unnecessary. Like, somebody like Samoa Joe doesn't have to resort to dirty tactics to beat somebody like Dalton Castle. But whatever. Samoa Joe's still the champion. Gonna give this one another 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, a 4-way match. The Best Friends versus the Kingdom versus Aussie Open versus champions Lucha Brothers. This match was great. Finally kicked it up a notch. It was chaos, but good chaos. Even some cool, interesting moments. Like, in these matches, we always see a point where they dive out onto everybody outside. But this time, they not only did that, but at some point Trent Beretta took Mike Bennett and did a superplex onto everybody on the outside. And it went until Kyle Fletcher from Aussie Open got the pin over Trent Beretta from the Best Friends, making it so that now Aussie Open are the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Which I'm happy about. I like the Lucha Brothers, but I think they need to focus more on the AEW side of things, not Ring of Honor. This one finally gave it a little boost, kicked it up a notch, and I would give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah! But then in match that kind of took away that momentum for a minute. For the 6-man tag team championships, Master Wato, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Leon Ruffin versus the Mogul Embassy. This match was okay, but it's kind of hard to get into a match where you know the champions are just being fed opponents. Like 3 big, huge monsters versus 2 guys that are kind of average and 1 guy that's a little below average. Not to mention just looking at the challengers, you could see that was a very makeshift team that they were just given to feed these guys. Not to say they didn't put up any kind of a fight at all, but for the most part, this match, the champions were dominating until the Embassy got the win and retained their 6-man tag team championships. There was really nothing to get me invested and really no reason for me to be invested. It was just okay. I would give it a 2 out of 5. Then for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, Daniel Garcia versus Katsuyori Shibata. As we know, Daniel Garcia, former champion, wants his title back. Also angry because he does respect Shibata and feels that Shibata doesn't respect him. Which Shibata confirmed, he doesn't respect him because of his dancing. This match was really good. A really good, classic back-and-forth wrestling match between 2 great wrestlers. Even though one likes to insist that he's not, he's a sports entertainer. Went for almost 15 minutes until Shibata got the PK onto Daniel Garcia and got the pin, retaining his Ring of Honor Pure Championship. But then after that, Shibata decided to give Daniel Garcia what he wanted and give him some respect. Try to respect the Code of Honor. To which, in return, Daniel Garcia gave him the finger. And that did not work out very well for Daniel Garcia. But either way, like I said, very good match. Definitely picked me up from the one before it. I would give this one a 4 out of 5. Yeah! Then a fight without honor. And for the first time, a 6-man fight without honor. The Righteous versus the Dark Order. As we know, most of this being personal as Stu Grayson left the Dark Order for the Righteous. And this was a great fight. The story being told made it feel personal. And of course, as you would expect, there were blood, there were weapons, there were Legos. And even the way it ended, which makes it look like a clean break, was a very personal ending, as at the end, Stu Grayson was ganged up on by all 3 members of Dark Order until he got pinned by Evil Uno, making Dark Order the winner of this fight without honor. Honestly, this one was so great and so entertaining. I would easily give this one a 5 out of 5. Yeah! And then for the Men's Ring of Honor World Championship, Pac challenged Claudio Castagnoli. Originally, it was supposed to be Mark Briscoe, but he got injured. And they threw this one together because Claudio's not happy with Pac after he abandoned the Blackpool Combat Club during their Blood and Guts match. And as where I was excited to see Mark Briscoe versus Castagnoli, can't deny that this one was freaking great. After a very intense back and forth match, it actually came down to Wheeler Yuta coming out, distracting Pac so that Castagnoli could get the Ricola Bomb and get the pin over Pac, retaining his world championship. And afterwards, out came the Lucha Brothers, making it clear that Death Triangle is still around. But this led to the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy coming out, which led to Orange Cassidy getting an orange punch on Castagnoli, which makes me think he's going to get a future Ring of Honor Championship match, which will be cool. I'll get more into that in a little bit. But this match in and of itself, 5 out of 5. Yeah! And then for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, the rubber match, as Willow Nightingale challenges Athena. As we know in the past, Athena beat Willow Nightingale in a championship match, and then recently in a non-title match, Willow Nightingale beat Athena, getting herself another championship match, and like I said, rubber match. And I will say, this one was intense. I honestly had no idea which way it was going to go. If they were going to finally take the title off Athena and put it onto Willow Nightingale, or if she was going to retain, I didn't know, couldn't tell. I had to keep my eyes glued to the screen to make sure I didn't miss it. These two fought hard until Athena got an O-face that Willow Nightingale kicked out of, and then later got another O-face, but instead of going for the pin, put her in a crossface, which Willow Nightingale struggled and struggled to get out of. But it came down to she couldn't get out of it. She never tapped, though. She passed out, and the referee had to stop the match, meaning Athena is still the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. But it was still awesome. And it was also really cool because uncharacteristic of Athena, she's been very disrespectful to her opponents lately. Apparently, Willow Nightingale had earned her respect because after the match, she gave Willow Nightingale the proper respect. Like I said, great match, great way to end the night. Another 5 out of 5. Yeah! So Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor 2023 was really good. Started out a little slow, but eventually picked up, and then ended very, very strong. 3 straight 5s. However, I got the same criticism with this Ring of Honor event that I've had with previous ones. That, one, some of the matches on the card, they're doing very little to no build-up. I can't fault them over the World Championship only having a couple of weeks, because originally it was supposed to be another one, but the challenger got hurt. It happens. And it was still a good way to build it up. The main event, the Women's World Championship, has been built up for months. It was fine. The Fight Without Honor had been built up for months. Pure title, not really built up, but definitely something that we've seen coming as Daniel Garcia wants the title back. But the 6-man tag team championship, not really much build up, and it was also very who cares. The opening match was not built up at all. It was just, here's a good opening match. That kind of stuff bothers me. That shouldn't be on events. You should take your time. And not to mention, I'm still with the same criticism that I understand Tony Khan owns both AEW and Ring of Honor, but they should be ran as separate companies with a separate roster. I think they need to have themselves a little draft and distinguish who's Ring of Honor, who's AEW. You go to your show, you go to your show. But more than being a draft, more like NXT versus WWE, where it's owned by the same company. Ring of Honor should, in my opinion, be their developmental thing. Especially because Ring of Honor, no matter what you do with it, it's always going to be a niche product. That's just what it is. In my opinion, they should start working towards getting all the titles off of the AEW guys, have them go to AEW, and let the two things be separate. Maybe meeting once in a while at a major event or something, but be separate. And until they do that, that is going to be my biggest criticism with it. But as far as the event itself, it was still really good, despite the criticisms that I had, despite its slow start. I would easily give this one a good 4 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor 2023. Love you guys.